hopefully audio's alright. Don't got any clue if it's fine. Welcome to the FBRL Sony Cup Series at Kansas. As I'm trying to make sure that things are good to go before we begin. Alright, 1 second. This cord takes up a good chunk of my RAM, so let me stop this for a second. It's gonna get a little funky with the frame rate. It's normal, because one second, just tuning a couple things here.
Yes, it's him.
I got no clue if this will work or not. Because it's going to play through the audio in my headphones, so it should pick you up, but now I got to adjust you guys to make you louder. So.
Let me get close to my blue microphone.
And
then watch my hotel Wi-Fi
I already have both of you
out.
turned up really high. This is really last minute.
Hopefully I'm not blowing anybody's eardrums out.
I can turn you guys
So
up.
real.
Because I got a fucking engine noise too, so I'm going to have like a bunch of shit. Now I got to open my...
Should be the pit road reporter and just have noise blasting through the background.
Now I got to check YouTube to make sure that I can at least monitor the chat on my
Would screen sharing like ruin your PC at this point, or?
It's the concern of my memory usage. I closed out the browser. I closed out the browser, which should help, but I got.
What are you streaming with? OBS or?
Streamlabs OBS, yeah.
Oh, I just use OBS, like, not the whatever the Streamlab one is, because at least for me, like OBS uses less CPU than Streamlabs does. But
that might be too loud.
That's whenever I've streamed stuff.
That's probably true because of all the plugins and stuff they have on the side.
Yeah. Yeah. Because whenever I tried streaming stuff, like Streamlabs took so much of my memory, so I had to like.
I only use Streamlabs because of all the extra stuff it has, but if you're just doing an offline league, OBS is probably.
You could, yeah. Well, you can add alerts to OBS if you wanted to, like.
I mean, yeah, true, but Streamlabs.
Like that's what I did. I just imported some of the alerts from there over, so.
Alright.
Nope. You don't have to do as much setup if you have Streamlabs.
That's like the one advantage.
See how the frame.
But yeah, I probably choose that more.
Well, as long as the frame drops aren't too bad, it should be fine. At least I hope. Okay, I have the stream open on my phone so I can keep track of how it looks. Doesn't seem to be having a problem so far.
I'll have to have an entry list up so I can remember who's who.
I got it on my phone pulled up.
Should be SCS headlines.
Yeah.
Frame rate stable. the frame rate's keeping it 120 to 110, so it should be okay.
Oh yeah.
It's just making sure the stream's fine.
Zayden Davidson is 37th fastest right now. Not a draft. Real.
Not a draft on.
I think all of these are draft.
Whoever's in
guys.
chat, can you let us know how the audio? Let me know how the audio is, if they're too loud, or if not.
At least when I had it up, I didn't think we were too bad. But I would like another opinion.
Because I can't exactly tell without playing a stream over the microphone on my phone.
Cody was like the only one that was like chatting in there.
Said it's good. I made a couple Hail Marys on some sliders. I guess it worked out.
It's just you're
Cody
just built
says
different. You're just built different.
Just built different.
Built for tough.
Assembled.
Need a fucking silver-haired anime girlfriend to ruin my life. I'm built different.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Guys under 5'6" be like.
Oh, Anthony Marchese.
Oh, dude, look
Top
at me,
of the
second
board.
fastest.
Yeah, look at you. Wow, I can't believe you're
I
breaking
gotta
the fourth
create
wall.
an
Unbelievable.
alternate commentary persona.
That's why I have Ash Curtis. No, I was kidding. Aesthetic
So I have
prosthetic leg.
See, my problem is that I own Cybertron Motorsports and I'm a commentator,
Yeah.
so I'm biased.
That, real.
you're like Brad
me
Dogtra
whenever I
on
run
ESPN.
HNS. Me when I run HNS and whenever I run HNS as my team, I'm like, oh, they win. Like, oh no, not them. Anything but them.
I could be an in-car reporter. I could just have engine noise playing in the
In-car.
background really loud.
In car, that's
In-car.
the league.
IndyCar. I like that Tide car. It's really nice.
It is a good car. I think Lane actually did that car.
I'm a big
Like,
fan of food. I'm a big fan of food themed paint schemes.
It's same.
food.
Fast food paint schemes. I don't know
I
why.
used to do that dumb joke at work all the time when at my old job because like
Tides.
yeah, like one of my like the cleaning section was next to mine, so like every time one of my managers would like he'd be messing with the Tide and I'd be like, yo, you got my snacks. He'd fucking
Oh, look at Zayden. Oh, 3 wide. Oh, he's
dump
threatening
his ass.
the most serious SCS commentary.
Cody said you could probably turn the game volume up a little bit if you had the nitpick.
Really? Well, okay. Well, I can.
And then Shane wouldn't hear us though.
Well,
That's much.
well, there is one thing I can do. It's turn up the slider, the audio slider.
Oh, here we
It'll
go.
make you louder though.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Oh, look who's. Oh, Jesse Turner's third fastest.
I'll crank it up slightly. I don't want to make it too loud.
FBRL, crank it up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no!
You gotta make a graphic.
you just turn it all the way up to
Just
100.
bass boost the shit out of it.
Just bass boost.
Oh, you totally could. You could just put a gain filter on it. Just have it like clip the audio.
Oh, where's my Bainbridge Honda?
It's like it's like,
I want to tell Schwal to do that for his league. I want to have a crank it up section where just ear rape for a whole lap.
Folks, you might want to put some headphones on. It's
might-
time to crank it up. It's just
you might want to strap down that computer monitor.
You just start playing Boo Boo Pow at max volume.
You may want to get the water. It's about to, your computer's about to explode.
I don't know if dumping water on an electrical fire is
It'll
gonna
cool
help
your
any.
PC. It'll cool your PC just fine.
I really want to have like just the dumbest overproduced offline league ever.
That's why
Basically
that's
just
why I'm
move
gonna
color.
bring double
There's
net back.
there's an offline league that broadcasts their entire races using free cam.
That's awesome.
How do they do that? That's impressive, though.
They probably just edit, like overly
I
edit
figure
it.
it might be an edit thing. Yeah.
I think he just sits in a corner of the track like a spectator, then just like zooms in on shit. At least I don't remember what the league was though.
Oh, I thought POV, you're a fan of an offline league in the stands.
We should do
The
an
virtual
we
skins.
should do an FBRL radio broadcast where there's no footage. We're just we're just all in like a corner of the track, just calling what we see.
Holy cow! What a hellacious impact," said Mike Bagley excitedly.
We have to like kill off 6 drivers, but we can't show footage
Oh
of
my
it.
god! It's forbidden. The archives.
I've honestly wanted to do a free cam radio broadcast. I think for Dylan's league, I kind of want to do that for a road course race. I want to do some like really gimmicky shit.
That would make sense for a road course, just because of how long it is.
If we go to like Watkins Glen or something, yeah, we could just like free cam in a corner. If Chicago's street course has good AI, I kind of want to do the same. Like,
I don't know if that AI is any good or not. I don't even know if there'd be much passing with how
Probably
narrow
not,
that
yeah.
track is. Yeah.
there'd probably be a lot of crashing, which would be funny. 'Cause
You
of
just
how
saved the
narrow
rain
track
race.
is.
Oh, look at Turner there, stuck behind Bobby Jones, and then there's the 99
Blake Warren,
of Blake Warren.
redacted.
Some unforeseen circumstances to put Blake Warren in the car.
Some controversial.
Long Dong Tigers.
Well, if you missed all the action in practice, you might want to press the red button on your FBRL controller.
Wait, that just.
If you have Sky Premium, you can
Wait.
see the onboards of every
You
driver.
have
Oh
FBRL.
shit! Oh,
There's a crash!
Oh, God.
Oh, it's...
Who died?
Will.
Oh no!
Oh,
it's
no.
Wrigley.
No. It's a big crash.
Last
Oh,
hard
Joseph
leg.
Strigley.
all
Oh,
the
his
backup
journalism.
cars.
Oh, he might want to. He might want
What's
to
he
make a
gonna write in
journalism
this blog
entry
about
this.
this?
He's gonna have to write a headline
Oh,
on this.
no.
Oh, he
Oh my
flipped too.
god!
Oh my god!
What happened?
Oh, the 88. Started with Hannah Allen. Oh, she had an issue.
Oh.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
gosh.
Trying to come to pit road.
I had nowhere
Oh,
to go.
Strigley, then
Oh my
Harple.
god!
Oh,
Holy
and then the 59. Oh my goodness, it's just a junkyard in the front
Oh,
stretch.
fatal crash. in
Fatal-
Well,
practice.
Just
Kansas fans enjoyed this kind
Joseph
of carnage.
Strigley's dead.
I can't
Who's
believe
gonna write now? Toby Christie needs a new writer.
Kobe Christie's gonna need a new
There's
rider.
one issue this track has is like the pit entrance is a fucking nightmare.
That sounds about right.
Like this was like I actually
changes.
I edited it so that they would enter pit road later because like they would enter in turn 3 and cause like
So
massive
early.
wrecks. Yeah. Granted, I'm not sure the solution I came up with worked. Granted, that's the first time I've actually seen a wreck happen. So. But then again, when I streamed Darlington, we had like I think fucking the 75 went to 4 backup cars. So I mean, you know, at this point.
Yeah, we have unlimited money. It's just a matter of we have Man City money.
There's smoke on the
Saudi
backstretch.
Arabia.
I'm not
Has something else happened?
Someone spun then.
It was Cody, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Nope.
Oh nope.
Wasn't me.
Shane was like, darn it.
I was also
Should've-
very sure
it
it was
should've been
Cody.
Who fucking...
Was it
It
me?
wasn't Strigley again.
Bro, how long is this? Bro, the smoke is fire, bro. Oh, there.
Oh, there
Oh,
we go.
there it is.
Oh, Dylan Young.
Oh, he got wrecked by Shady.
Too much Jack Daniels.
Vince
Or-
Freeze.
Or Freeze.
Oh.
Eve's in the 15, yeah.
had
I
a
was
great
almost
idea.
right.
Oh, he's
Oh, he's
inside his
leaning
car.
on it. There was even more smoke up
He's
there.
leaning on him a little bit, yeah.
There was even more smoke before that. It was me. It was not me. Darn it.
I did it.
Oh, it was
What is-
Jesse.
This is
Jesse.
a violent practice session.
Oh my
Jesse.
god. Oh, Acosta might have
Oh,
hit Young,
Jesus.
caught him at a bad area.
4
You need
wide.
F-like Jesse.
And then got Jesse.
Well, when half the field's
Oh,
on...
the four's slow now.
Well, when half the... well, I think some of these guys haven't pitted yet.
Pitting.
Like, that he's on old tires.
Old tires.
That's why wrecks happen in practice.
Oh man,
Just
green flag runs
normal
are gonna be insane if they have to pit.
That's what you get for not saving your tires.
Instance and moment.
Real. Oh, here he comes.
So
Jesse.
here he comes. Here he comes.
Oh, the 13. Oh,
Francois.
Francois.
It's Chastain.
Martinois Chastain. I mean, Francois
Big
Chastain.
Benoit Chastain.
Oh my gosh. let's see here. Turner's third, Lama's fourth.
Yo, POV.
Samuel England.
POV, you're the dog in the enclosed pool.
Yeah. I knew what you were gonna say as soon as you said
my
POV.
God. Bobby Jones in 7th, Charles Samper 6th, DJ Curtis in 9th, Joseph Sirigali in 9th, Joseph Sirigali.
No one's gonna take away my privileges,
Tom
bro.
Cat. Yep, Sony Cup Series is now gonna die
I
next
forgot
year.
where I saw this, but like somebody replied to a meme. They were like something about an enclosed pool, and somebody said that is an insane reference.
I can't believe Iron Eagle made a Taylor Swift reference when Travis Kelce had a touchdown today. I was so slow on not picking that up because he referenced like a Taylor Swift song, and I was like, oh well, oh that makes a lot more sense. That's actually kind of based. You actually made a Taylor Swift reference in your touchdown call.
Shane, I know you saw that Osprey match where he did the sharpshooter into the crossface, and the crowd started going crazy because they knew what he was doing.
He should have done a flying headbutt. That would have really.
Dude, oh my god, I would have.
He should have done that.
I would have lost my mind. I couldn't believe it was happening either. It's like, well, this dude's a fucking maniac. Look at me, I'm flying up there.
Yeah, that's what you get for getting sponsored by
I
a
love his
NordVPN,
I was about
buddy.
to. I got a VPN and I'm second in practice.
VPN
It's
made
just
you much
something
faster.
about it.
I tell you what, Jim, that VPN makes him really fast on the track.
I don't get how the internet works.
I like how I love his commitment to hating Canada. Like he's so good.
He's just being Shawn Michaels.
Like he had that like my favorite one was he went to Niagara Falls, and then like he's being like sprayed everywhere, and he has like this angry sad look, but he's trying so hard not to smile. He's having the time of his life, but he has to keep up.
What is happening?
Oh my God! Look at him go! Jeffrey White.
Yeah, make it 4.
Jeffrey.
Make it 4.
Jeffrey. Oh no! It backed off at the last second.
I've been trying to fix that. I don't know how to fix
It
that.
is. It
That's
is
like
practice.
A panic.
They're just
That's
not
a panic
trying.
decel thing, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
I would think that's panic decel related.
Oh,
Oh my
God.
God!
Oh no.
I think that those tires are really working.
Oh,
Tyler,
man, I think-
Kansas is definitely kicking.
There's
in here.
there's about 4 to 5 seconds of tire wear.
That's wild. It's got the the old Atlanta surface, but on Kansas apparently.
But on Kansas.
Hey
They
man,
should turn this into a super speedway. I tell you what.
Oh my gosh.
Was this one of the tracks that was like really flat out in like 2019, 2020? Back when like every track was flat out.
yeah, because remember, Harvick couldn't get past Logano that one time.
It's just that package, due to the
Oh, yeah.
package, yeah.
I just remember there was, I think it was a Vegas race one of those years, like one of the crew chiefs was telling Boyer to do something. He's like, dude, I'm literally flat out. There's like nothing more I can do right now. What a horrible time that was.
Just doing that.
It was like
being in
watching.
that package.
It was like CTS racing in real life.
I was gonna
really
say
is,
it felt
yeah.
like it felt like old icebreakers races.
It was just.
Oh my gosh,
Oh.
I remember those.
Oh, especially that open sub season we did, or the 2 of them we did.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember
Put
that.
that spoiler
Actually,
all
it's
the
not
way
bad.
down.
I used to just steal setups from McClintock.
I actually wasn't even that bad in the open setup ones. Surprised, I actually kind of figured it out. But
Those were actually kind of fun in hindsight. At the
Like,
time,
there
I
were-
don't think
there
I
were
enjoyed them,
days-
but they were pretty fun.
there were days I was actually faster than like Kilojoules because he'd be in there every so often, and
I couldn't
remember
do open
Tyler-
set now because Meloncar open set would be way too tryhardy. But
I
back
remember
then it
remember
was
Tyler like wrecked me in the last lap, and I was like, I didn't even care. I was like, whatever. He was like, he felt so freaking bad. He's like, yeah, I'll just here's the Discord. I'll send you like some setups in return. So I'm like, okay, cool.
He should have gave you that.
Pretty base.
He should have gave you that EXE he uses to steal people's setups.
Was
Oh
there
my
one
gosh.
that did that?
No, but people have like accused him of trying to do that.
That'd be
I was
funny
gonna
though.
say, dude, if anyone could figure it out, it would be Tyler.
It was like some I forget who
Bro,
it
no,
was, but
it's
someone
not.
got mad at him for it. He's like, they're making EXEs to steal your setups. It was like on a Facebook group or something.
Yeah, Cody, I think Jeffrey gave me the same thing. I think we all had like a setup folder that he just let us use for icebreakers.
Zach would just
Because some weeks he wouldn't show up.
give me the setup that him and Richard made, are the ones they got from Kilojoules half the time.
That's fair.
I would definitely just take setups from people, and if nobody had one, we'd all go to noise racing.
The only time I actually managed to make a setup by myself that was actually like, there was 2 times, but like I remember once like that we did that Vegas race and I actually made like a really competitive setup by just taking a freaking Michigan setup because it was flat out.
I remember you making league setups for IMRC, and you made one that like made no sense, but it worked really well.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, there's a wreck. Oh,
God.
2 cars up there.
I think you set like
Look out. Oh my god, look
you
out.
set like the camber of the caster to like a negative number or some shit.
Oh
that
my
worked
God.
out for whatever reason.
There's
What
a
is-
wreck.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh no!
This is the most sane FBRL practice.
This is what it's like when everybody is on a different lap on their tires.
I know you talk about the camera thing. I just can't remember which track it was.
Somebody get the Max a sponsor.
There was a
for the love
track
of
that
God.
I did where
Oh
like
my
I put
God.
all the weight in the where
Oh.
I put like all the weight in the back, and then I moved the left, and then I moved the fucking left bias all the way to the far right, and for some reason it worked, and I don't know why, and it only worked once. That's the only track that whatever track that was, it was the only time I ever got that to work, because every other track I tried that on, it's never worked.
I don't think he told anyone the setup till after the race, and everyone's like, "Why the fuck did that work?" And like actually feel nice.
I'll have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
I'll have to
Like, I
find
don't know.
that. I wonder
Monarch
if that
2003.
I'll have to find that that's on the Facebook page or not, or the group, or the old Discord. That may have been Rio. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't think
Rio
I
was
raced
pretty
that.
goofy.
I really didn't. When MRC moved to Mondays, I couldn't race.
I
so
wish
it
I
was like-
wasn't as salty when I raced that.
Yeah, I just wish
It
I
was
wasn't
fun.
I
salty.
was I was so
NACL.
mad that was a wreck fest because
Yeah,
that
so
I was so mad that Rio race was a wreck fest because like everyone pretty much liked the track and the setup because it was really fun, but everyone just kept wrecking each other. It was so irritating. I'm like this is my magnum opus and you people are ruining it.
How dare you ruin such?
I can't
Such
hear
a
Magnum
great
Opus without thinking about Super Mega now.
Oh, man.
Well, better stop thinking. You better stop thinking about Super Mega because oh boy.
Has more come out about them?
I don't know, but
Or just the one thing?
I don't know, man. I unsubbed.
Okay.
I was-
Because they made a
I-
reply. They kind of made a reply that debunked a lot of what the accusations were, but they're still like, yeah, like our business is closed and everything, and we don't know what the future brings. And like, some horrible shit has come out about them, but yeah. MRC to SCS.
Cody,
Online
that's
coming
not
soon.
Cody.
Oh, man.
I've offered to do that 3 times. That was years ago. I'm not doing it now, bro. Listen, I'm done.
In iRacing.
I'm done with owning online leagues for a long while. Trust me, my guy. Don't tell any. The IMRC revival didn't happen. That never happened.
The Cannon event.
MRC is like the Olympics. It comes back like once every 4 years.
Okay, so the Commanders beat the Broncos 35-33. At least that's what it says in my notes.
The legendary one IMRC iRacing test where Blake
Oh
in
my
VR
God.
literally did a full 180 to look behind him and just killed somebody.
I forgot about that.
That's so funny.
That man took immersion to the next level, and I respect it.
he made Tristan Allen quit iRacing forever.
Oh,
Like Tristan never re-upped his sub because of that.
what?
That's funny.
Wait, that's not
I
true.
Because
realized
he-
how funny that was.
Wait,
That's-
that's not true. I remember Tristan racing iRacing after that, at least a couple of times. I did a race.
Well, he met up a couple times, but he's always like been adamant. He's like, yeah, I'm never racing iRacing again because of that. Which I think is funny.
Oh my lord.
But it was just a fucking like meme race that we did for a
Yeah,
giggle.
yeah, well, some
Why
people.
is he taking
you
it
know,
so personally?
is what it is.
You know, my wheel I bought has just been sitting in the Amazon box for 3 months now.
What kind of wheels do you get?
Real.
It's the same that Pan has. It's like a Thrustmaster, like 150, I think.
Oh, yeah, those are nice. I got the 300.
I still have the GT you gave me.
Hell yeah.
I bought these $400 Fanatec pedals, only to really use them for 2 months because it's been because I had them for 2 months before I took a break. So that's a lot of money.
That's why I don't buy like a bunch of sim racing stuff, because I know I'm gonna buy it and it's just gonna sit for a while until I like pick it up to like, you know, get my fix like every once in a while.
Get into the Emperor's groove.
Because I had been debating trying iRacing Road a bit.
I enjoy that.
'Cause
I was just about to say I was gonna do F3 fix until I saw you were streaming and wanted to co-con.
Because the Discord server that me and DJ are in with a bunch of special people, they've all been doing Road for like the last month or so, and I've been like tempted to get into it, but me on a road course in iRacing, it's not a good sight.
You'll pick it up pretty fast, I think. It's a ton different than NR in all the good ways. NR is not meant for road courses at all.
I did 2 Miata races a couple of years ago. I don't remember hating it. It's just something with I couldn't get my wheel settings. When I tried it again, something was wrong with my wheel settings. Like the car just wouldn't turn or something like that, and I couldn't figure out why. It was frustrating.
I'd definitely give it another shot. They put a lot of cars on the roadside. The Super Formula is pretty fun. I like the F3 car.
Yeah, like I've asked him like how like the G. I know like the GT4 is I think the D class or something, and apparently those don't go like very fast. They go like 170 on the straights or something like that typically, or something like that. But
yeah, they're nothing crazy. You just gotta brake a little bit earlier in them, so the brake's not really as powerful. I've had fun in the couple of GT4 races I've done. I'm pretty bad with GT3 cars, but I like driving them.
yeah, my thing is
I
just
hardly
like
ever finish well.
my thing is just like my mind is like, God, I have so many tracks I'm gonna have to memorize.
Yeah, I mean you can hop on a practice at any point and just kind of get some laps down with other people. That's usually what I do, so I can kind of get a feel of how it's gonna drive with other other cars on it and with some rubber on it.
This is the thing about I like about ovals more is that I can at least pick it up a little bit quicker. Then it's a little bit easier to at least pick up the pace because it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. We'll see. My Amazon box has basically become a second table next to my bed.
It's pretty much what all my boxes turn into until I decide I need to take them to the dumpster.
The box for my pedals and the box for my wheel are literally table stands next to my bed that I'm using for like no reason. Because I guess I don't want to pay for a table.
Technically, it means you're using them for something, though.
It's good furniture for your apartment when you don't have much
Makeshift
furniture.
furniture.
Yeah, honestly,
my first
like
month, I was
I'm
just
already
using
like
boxes.
I'm already
All
practicing
tables.
living in poverty, man. I'm
What's
on
that
it.
SpongeBob? What's that SpongeBob episode with the, you know that scene with the freaking box channels and stuff?
Yeah, I think about that at
I
work all
mean,
the time.
my PC computer for the last, well, my PC desk for the last, how long has it been? Fuck, it's been a while. For like the last 12 to 13 years has been a dinner table that we've had since I was like 2 years old.
Nice.
This baby has
That's
lasted a
freaking baller.
long time. This is a 20-year table that has had something heavy on it for 20 years straight, and it's still clicking. We've never, well, I'm jinxing it now, but we've never had to put a screw in or fix anything on it. This baby's
Gonna
held it
fall
tight.
apart the next time you look at it.
I hope so. I'm praying because you know what? I embrace it.
It's like falls apart like one of those SpongeBob gags where it's like fine one moment and then just everything just falls over.
Well, I want to get one of those L-shaped desks. That for my 2 monitors.
Man, I was thinking about that. I saw a really nice one at Office Depot or Office Space or whatever, but they didn't have it in stock, so I had to settle for another little one.
Well, monitors.
They're nice.
Well, monitors. One's a monitor. One's a TV that I bought for like $200 like 6 years ago.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah.
I use a TV for my laptop as a monitor for the longest time.
Oh yeah, my dad's done that since he's owned laptops. And also because his eyesight's gotten worse, so he has to play computer games on a big TV.
Do you have games on your phone?
Back when I was like playing shooters and stuff, I couldn't really like do it on a laptop that well.
Well,
Patrick's
practice is coming to an
actually
end here as we're
second
about to
guessing.
begin qualifying. As hope you enjoyed the FBRL podcast.
I'm not biased or anything, but there's somebody in third that I'm really happy for in practice.
Patrick's been was second freaking.
Drivers, to your cars.
Like that gun. Now the real
we
test.
We need to decide who's going to be face and who's going to be heel for the commentary. table.
Who's got a mask? Who wants to be Excalibur?
I gotta correct the old guy so he gets pissed at me.
Big old guy. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeVoya.
Just need Jim Ross to be. I want to see Jim Ross call an NASCAR race. He's just angry at everything.
The tensions are high, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going
It's
to get
Kansas.
pulled.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, imagine living there.
Acosta, fastest on the first lap.
Costa Lamas, England.
If
That's
Lama-
not from actually England.
That reminds me, I'm gonna have to save the results.
Yeah, the export, the
just
results,
just in case.
just in case. Jeffrey White, Sean
Also, save the
Harpo,
race just in case.
Harpo, White, Freeze.
Oh,
Oh,
we-
Dejan.
Dejan.
wow.
In his home state. Oh,
Oh,
Oh, there's
Schwal.
Schwal,
I think it's up.
Cody, Dane. Oh my God, the boys are really.
somebody
before.
give the 18 a sponsor, please.
I thought they were gaining more laps from anyone else.
Probably not. I think all the AI goes.
Oh,
somewhere.
DJ.
Oh yeah, 41st.
DJ.
Let's
the
go.
hell am I?
Really bad home
The hell,
state.
the hell am I paying you in NIL money for? I got you that Ford Mustang through legal means.
Sorry, that's
All right,
Sorry.
we got to take away
Gave it- I
Texas'
gave it-
national championship.
family. I gave it to my family.
I'm sorry, Coach. I sold my championship rings for tattoos.
We're so fat. It's just like
Alright,
NR
we gotta
online.
send Jim Tressel to Youngstown State.
It's NR online realism where I qualify in the back. I start at the back.
Oh, look at me, mid.
Yeah.
The Quavo national anthem for the
Oh,
Migos.
say, can you see?
I still want someone to do an auto-tune like anthem unironically.
All right,
Just
I will
'cause it'd be
try my best to
stupid.
take this super serious.
Drivers, to your
Under 5
cars.
laps at Kansas though, that'll be fun. Surely there won't be a lot of yellows.
Yeah, judging by
Well,
practice.
Oh, just hope there's
I
nobody
got
with neck failure.
suspension damage.
Yeah, if I get a
Drivers,
pre-race
to
fuck,
your
if I get a
cars.
pre-race fuck, I'm just gonna.
That's usually how I roll,
And Will
too.
Goss
Like, I
just will
can't-
not make
can't
it.
do none of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FBRL Sony Cup Series, round number 11 at Kansas Speedway for the second half of the 2023. That's the year, right? Season. We're here at Kansas.
Yeah.
Live broadcast here, live from some undisclosed military-industrial complex. We've got
Drivers!
yeah.
Start your engine!
Yeah, what that guy said. I agree with him.
I think they should stop their.
We
engines.
got
Oh, it's a bit too late.
Today we got co-commentators Taekwondo
Let's go.
and Devoyne Shower Handle.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Dylan Schwamberg on pole position, looking to avenge himself from a difficult race at Talladega, which prevented him from a chance at the points lead. But with the pole position today, could be in a good position. The unsponsored Eric DeMax alongside. He's got his teammate Dane Stinson in a surprise 4th place qualifying. Your points leader Dejan Weeks sits 6th. Hopefully the game does not crash. Green flag is in the air here at Kansas for 105 laps on this 1.5 mile oval.
First half of the season's been pretty crazy. Starting the second half now with the points battle still pretty heated.
Yep, Richmond definitely was one of the greatest races of all time. We'll never forget it.
It's certainly a FBRL Hood classic.
Lamas takes the lead on the first lap, and Schwalmer does not get the start that he was looking for.
A little 3-wide action right there for momentarily.
Big scramble for
good
third. And the caution's out here on lap
caution's
number
already.
1. And then we got problems for Jesse Turner in the
Jesse
17. He's wrecked on the front straightaway. Is anyone else involved?
Got some back end
Looks
damage.
like it was just Turner.
Might have been a
Oh, there might be some
single
more
car
after
wreck.
the caution. I thought it might have seen.
Just gotta hope nobody wrecks each other in the caution or run into each other.
That's what I thought happened. Just a bunch
big,
of cars grouped together.
You don't want that big old New York City traffic jam early on.
Caution's out for Jesse Turner, who wrecked in turn 4. So we'll have to see what happened to the 17 here on the opening lap. Turner did not.
Certainly got help. Oh, he's against the wall.
I wonder
Way
if he got
up
put
high.
in the wall.
Turner was put in a
What a
forward
weird
situation,
trajectory.
and then Turner just in the wall, not just, and kept up as best he could. But the 70 of Bob Burns was there and sent him around into the wall, with the 31 of Charlie Smith getting significant damage on the right side.
Good avoidance by Lars Van Shank, though. Really close call. Post shave for the 59, though. Able to keep on going, though. Singular car wreck.
Not too bad of a
No
wreck
harm,
for
no
Turner.
foul, though.
Not too bad of a wreck for Turner,
gotta-
but this is going to set them back in the aerodynamics department.
It definitely could have been way worse than what it was.
Yeah, it looked like he just didn't really enter it in the best kind of way. Like, the trajectory was just off for him, and then by the time he just bounces off the wall, no place to go for Bob Burns. And then, ooh, yeah, big little wallop on the outside wall for the 31.
It's a mix of cold tires and just not knowing when other people are going to be slowing down. It looks like might have went in a little bit too hot there.
So we got the pit cycle here. Schwalmberg loses the lead from pit road. He has a bad stop. The 48 of Lamas also struggling from his pit stall. He was just up there in the lead. He has an issue getting out of his box, as does the 83 of Marchese. Harpole having some issues getting out, although I think there may have been a stack up as we got a couple guys late to coming into their boxes.
Oh, 13's got front end damage. I just noticed a little bit of the hood caved up on the 13 a little bit. I don't know if he ran into somebody or caution, but might have been my eyes maybe playing tricks on me. But
That's a
it does
13.
look like he's got some
That's a-
hood damage. Yeah, Francois Chastain. Maybe it's just the angle, but
Well, let's see. It looked like he
That's
made
pretty
contact
close.
with Turner off the exit of his stall. And he does get
a little bit of side.
he gets
right there.
side
Yeah.
damage as Turner was coming in for stall, and the 13 team released him. Maybe a bad release for the 13.
Oh, Davidson's pretty far back there too, though. So
Let's take a look at the pit sequence here as we relate to it. Lamas was the leader. Schwalmberg was second. And they've lost some ground here. Oh, a couple of guys only coming
Fuel
in.
only.
Yeah, fuel only for most of the field. Harpole over back there. Harpole takes 2 tires. We only ran 1 lap, so I'm not too surprised. It really shouldn't make much of a difference. But Harpole looking to
there were a
find
couple guys that stayed out.
Harper looking to find any advantage he can possibly find here, though. So we shall see if that works out for him. So Joseph Strigley Racing finds itself 1-2 after a stop-and-go pit stop. Splash and go. Points there, Dejan Weeks finds himself now up to 3rd. Jeffrey White up to 4th. Schwalmberg lost spots, but he's only dropped down to 5th, so it should be easily recoverable for him. Shade Eves in the 15, up to 6th. Shelley Sammy Lincoln, excuse me, Logan Clown, the 56, and Bobby Jones as your top 10 as Lamas, and the pit sequence falls from 1st to 11th. So he will have some work to do, but if you're going to have a mistake on pit road, better now than later.
A lot of people had
for
the
sure.
same idea to kind of splash and go early, maybe to prevent a later stop.
And the only driver that we were able to really see take any tires was Harple. We only ran a lap, so it's not going to be much of a difference, but again, the 14 team probably, maybe they think they don't really got a car that's got too much of a shot at the front, so trying to find any small advantage they can to take get some speed back into 14. But we shall see how that works out for them. DJ Kerr is shockingly
made some big swings.
DJ Kerr shockingly qualified 41st, but has climbed his way up into 31st, so 10 positions gained for the 19. So it's a progress. The 6 of Caps down all the way to 35th, so he's got some work to do as well. Joseph Strigley, his cars may be running 1-2, but he himself is now down to 38th. We're set to go back green here. No cars are lapped down, so it's a relatively short caution period here. Joseph Strigley Racing finds itself 1-2 in a restart, but can they hold on to this? DeMax has been very quick over these past couple of races. But he's got a very hungry teammate behind him in Dane Stinson. As the green flag waves, Stinson did not get a good start. Here comes Weeks now immediately to the bottom lane to immediately try to capture second place from the 96, and he should be able to do so relatively easily, and he does.
Yep, looks like Schwallenberg on toe is going to follow in line. James Shelley, a lot of cars going to kind of flounder towards the inside line. That's really what you want to do off the down the restart, and Dean Stinson way up high in the racetrack. White could make it 3 wide, backs off of it though, but you see the run. Dane's going to get off a turn 4 just a tad, and going to be alongside Schwallenberg, but Eric DeMax leads though, but he's got a hungry pack of cars right behind him.
Schwallenberg stopped in his box and was in the box a little bit later. Maybe they also took the chance to maybe make some adjustments because Schwallenberg lost the lead immediately on the start, so maybe they made some adjustments so that he can fire off a bit better, as he's had a much better go at this restart than the start of the race here, as he now battles with Weeks for second place. Weeks now with a run.
Long stop didn't really seem to affect him that much. I mean, he's finding the places right away, so the adjustment of the car probably is going to help in the long run here.
Weeks running the top lane here. DeMax is not pulling away despite the battle for second here between these 3 cars. Weeks trying to clear the 10. If he can just get in front of him, has to back off to get to the top as Schwallenberg got his nose in there.
Ooh, man, Stinson looked a little bit down at the bottom. Just going to follow the Ally machine right behind. But Max holding a strong front right now. He's got some clean air, so that's also the big advantage. But Schwallenberg looks pretty good, just able to get that car way down the track. Slides up right in front of Weeks. Gets that 30 cars in dirty air. Now here he comes right to the inside. That 10 car is on rails so far. 3 wide right behind them. Looks like Bobby Jones stuck in the middle of a Curtis Racing sandwich. But looks like things are settled down. But the battle for the lead, though, is starting to heat up.
Schwallenberg takes the lead. Both are right. Schwallenberg takes the lead from DeMax here as the 10 looks a little bit better here than he did in that first lap as we are 11 laps in. Weeks now up to second place here. This is potentially for the points lead. At this top 2, Zane Davidson finds himself down in 39th. He lost the points lead at Talladega this past week, but unfortunately, it seems that this 91 has lost some pace because they are really struggling to get this car going at the moment. Turner was involved in that wreck, and he arguably got the worst damage out of it. But he's still beating Perkins, at least for 41st. So I think they're hoping that the damage isn't as bad.
Yeah, they can still hang on in this one. Still plenty could happen. They could pick up some points to kind of salvage a better day.
DJ Curtis has finished 1st and 2nd the last 2 races and now finds himself down in 33rd, looking for 31st from Bob Burns.
And sometimes, with how this point system goes, top 10, you get in the points. all you need is like good races like those, like a first or a second, and sometimes it just kind of mitigates the other results that you've had throughout the season. So, not the best start for the 19 car so far, neither for a lot of other drivers you would expect to be up front, but I see a lot of new faces moving their way forwards, though, in that top 10 points, like Logan Cloud and like a Jeffrey White, but it's interesting to see just how much diversity this field can have in the series, you know, with a new car and all these new different manufacturers kicking in, too.
In this point system, you can kind of have, like, quote-unquote drop races where, you know, some races just kind of don't really matter in a sense, because if you're not in the top 10, you're not scoring at all. So from 11th on back, it's really not much of a difference in terms of if you have a bad week in 30th or if you have a bad week in 11th.
Max got split by his teammate and Dodge Alliance driver Bobby Jones. So the 18, after starting from the lead, he is slowly kind of fading a bit there. Perhaps has a long run car, but Max is going to need to, I think he's going to look for some grip there at the top. The top is a very good line if you can get the momentum off the corner there. As you can see, he gets it off of Lamas. Lamas threw a bit of a block, but it wasn't too bad, all things considered. As now Demax is trying to get the spot back to get back in the top 5. Schwalmberg leads and is now starting to kind of pull away from Weeks here. But Weeks is keeping in tow with them. We're expecting
whatever they did to that 10 car in the pit stop, it's working.
Indeed. We're expected to have roughly up to 3 pit stops here, potentially with the early caution, maybe 2, but we'll see how the fuel goes. The fuel window is roughly 30 to 35 laps. So we'll see what the teams do here. As Weeks now defending against his teammate Bobby Jones. And Jones, who has not had the year he's been hoping for in this 47 car after having such a strong part-time effort last year. There has been speed in this 47, but just hasn't been able to get the finishes. But today they're looking probably the best they've had all year long. But now he's surrounded by his teammate and Dane Stinson, who is having a great race in 4th place.
And Bobby Jones has really just needed good runs. He's just, like you said, been very unlucky, whether it's just things that really a lot of the time is just stuff out of his control. So like early accidents or just mechanical failures, basically freak things that would embody Murphy's Law. When things go wrong, it will go wrong. And that's been the, I would say, the epitome of Bobby Jones's career. But right now, though, looking pretty good in 3rd. The Dodges right now have been looking very strong. Dejan Weeks 2nd. Jones 3rd, obviously, as we noted. Dane Stinson sits in the 4th position. Eric DeMax was leading momentarily, but, you know, has dropped outside top 5, sitting in that 6th position. So, Dodge is looking pretty good, except one problem. Dylan Schwalmberg's leading as lap traffic.
Ooh, something's wrong with the 51 all of a sudden. He's off the pace a little bit.
Very much.
I can't tell if he has damage. It doesn't look like he has damage or not, but the 51 has dropped pace suddenly.
Mechanical gremlin definitely plagued him.
He's
qualified 19th, so it didn't start horribly.
Lost
I
a
assume,
lap.
Something happened.
Let's see, we're getting a report here.
Could he be down a cylinder?
Perhaps. We're not getting any information from the regarding the 51 car. I wonder if something just... No message.
That's odd.
But whatever the problem is, this 51 needs a caution now because this is looking pretty ugly at the moment here. He's going to accidentally...
He's going to hold up his teammate.
Extremely slow. Not what that 51 team wants to see.
Ooh, yeah, something. Like, it looks like maybe something with maybe a tire is starting to come loose because it just... The way the car enters the corner, it just looks like it's like stepping out instantly. But he's not pitting it, so I think he's just holding out for as long as he can, hoping for a lucky caution. But 3 wide, maybe 4 wide. If Sanford
I'm not
has
sure
to,
how smart that is.
Sanford had to
Bring that
back
thing
out.
in.
He almost just drilled the 51 into the wall. And here comes Curtis now in the 19 with a
Oh my
run.
goodness.
He gets into Sanford in turn 1, tries to take advantage of the chaotic moment there, and that's going to cost Sanford a bit.
A little bit of a silly move that paid off, though. I don't know how they didn't crash because of that, but if that's one way to get track positions, I guess that's one way to do it. But, I mean, yeah, that 51 just looks terrible out there.
Still another 15 to 20 laps away from the pit window, considering they pit on lap 2 or 3. So He's going to be holding out for a while. He's going to go another lap or two down. He should just bring it in and figure out what's going on.
Meanwhile, back up here, Stinson has all of a sudden climbed to second. He is now battling with Weeks for the second place spot, as they're now actually starting to run the 10 back down. So I wonder if maybe the 10 doesn't have a long run focused car. Which
I also wonder how powerful the draft is too. I wonder if draft is like a pivotal thing. Yeah, you're gonna have dirty air, but could you suck up to the car a little bit better at this track?
Stinson passes Weeks for second, so all of a sudden he's pointed himself in between two of the top 3 in points here, but can he run the 10 car down? But right now, Stinson is looking... I mean, right now, Dodge is looking just stunningly great right now. They've got around 4 cars in the top 10, almost all 4 in the top 5, if Demax can gain a spot. Shelley in the 71's in there with Turner in trouble. He's now kind of Turner Performances Racing Soul. Hope to get a points finish today. Obviously, Jake Baskinger won at Talladega last week. So they're hoping to find performance on the cars that kind of matter a bit more in the grand scheme of things.
Huge run.
Stinson had a great run off of 4. He's now going to take the fight to the 10.
I got to try and represent the Missouri crowd here. Couldn't get the run off the corner, but he's all over the back bumper of Dylan Schwallenberg's Ally machine. And
this is the closest.
Well, he's certainly no ally to Schwallenberg, so
this is the closest thing to a home race that Stinson's having this year. So definitely a bit of some pressure to perform today.
And a bit of a home race for Dejan, also in the top 3 up there. So he's also looking to take some pride here with a victory.
Your home drivers are, for the most part, if you want to be technical about it, are DJ Kurtz and Dejan Weeks. So we'll see if DJ can get his way up there. But they may need to make some adjustments in pit road. Stinson's keeping up with this 10, but right now Schwallenberg is just doing a really good job defensively, just keeping him behind.
you're starting to see Bobby Jones come into the picture. Cody Lamas has just silently been chilling right behind the Dodges and pulling a bit of a gap here. 5-car breakaway from Eric DeMax, and then a little bit of a secondary pack from really Bobo Jones on back. So Bobo Jones having a pretty solid run, sitting in 10th right now. Much needed points for the Allen Family Racing team. So
this is a team that really needs points, as Bobo Jones's season here in the Cup Series has not been the most successful as they've hoped. Especially the last couple of weeks, this 44 team has just had no luck whatsoever. So them running 10th, 1 point isn't a lot, all things considered, but with how tight things are, you got to take what you can get at this point. Schwallenberg held the 96 off really well. Stinson's kind of lost the pace all of a sudden, so perhaps Schwallenberg is now pacing himself. Maybe saved a little bit of something in case of an offensive attack, as they're now catching the 51 of Goss again. We're still not quite sure what happened with the 51.
Oh, he does get out of the way. Stinson goes to the top side, though, and I don't know if that's the wisest decision, as Dejan Weeks says, thank you very much. Bobby Jones gets boxed in. Cody Lamas uses him as a pick, and that's a free spot for the 48 car, and that is much to the chagrin of that Monster Energy 47.
It's just every entry to the corner. I mean, he's just like 20, 30
almost
miles an hour
looks
off the
like
pace.
It almost looks like something just in the suspension is just wrong. Like the thing, like on the straightaways, it's mostly fine. It's like the straightaways, I don't think it's the problem. It's like you can see every time his 51 enters the corner, like he has to be. It's almost like he has no power steering almost. Or maybe something's wrong with the brake pedal.
That could very well be an issue.
That's a good point, yeah. Well, look at all these guys in the middle, the mid-pack, though. There's Ryan Acosta, Matthew Rodriguez, Mitchell Collins.
Splitting 4 wide.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it looks like he has like a tire going down or something, but he's been on the track for about 15 to 20 laps as far as we know with this issue. So
are they gonna ever do it? Are the officials gonna do anything about?
I have to.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't thrown a black flag of some sort. I mean, it seems like a safety issue here.
I think we'll see what this 51 does once they can take a look at the car in pit road, but you have to imagine the officials are kind of giving them, you got one chance to fix this. If you don't fix it, it's done. I think they're just barely tolerating this 51 car existing at this point.
It would be an interesting question to see if they're even meeting the minimum speed. It's very much on the edge, if anything. Like we noted on the straightaways, the car seems fine. It's just the entry to the corners where the car is suffering. So officials kind of running a thin line here, but we'll see when they come into the pits if they can make some sort of adjustment or just figure out what's going on with this.
The 88 of Hannah Allen's a bit off the pace. I don't remember her getting as much damage in that wreck, if at all. So definitely something's up with the 88. Stuart Grad making his Sony Cup Series debut, driving the number 98. For Breeding Enterprises here, running in 36th. He's trying to do the best he can on the limited experience here. As the 76 of Aiden Shepard's coming to pit road, as I think pit stops have begun. I believe the 30 of Weeks is pitted, as I do not see him in the top 5, so pit stops are underway here at Kansas. Schwalmberg.
Be interesting to see the power of undercut and overcut here. And usually, the pattern of this track is like the undercut's pretty freaking good, but unless like give it a couple laps or so, depending on how long you stay out, that's when the tires start kicking in the most. So
the JSR car is coming to pit road, so Schwalmberg's gonna elect to stay out longer here. So Baby just trying to make this run last as long as they can on the fuel to get themselves a better chance later in the race here. But they are risking losing time because of the tire. There's some tire wears up to 3 to 5 seconds, depending on how bad you wear them out. And Schwalmberg now, he's going to stay out longer. Jones keeps going. A lot of guys going to stay out long here. I think this is a decision just based on fuel to run long.
Comes in.
We'll have to see how the tire difference comes out with a lot of these guys staying out maybe 2, 3, even 5 laps longer than the guys coming in first. Like you noted with the tire fall off, it could be very big by the end.
Schwalmberg surrenders. He goes to pit road. Jones is going to go out another lap in the 47. He wants the best tires he can possibly get there alongside Shelley and Logan Cloud. So this is very risky here to make this decision here, especially for Jones, who, they need points, and this is something that could risk them knocking them outside the top 10. And while it would give them an advantage on tires, it's still not an ideal situation. You can see the difference in speed.
Here he comes.
Here comes Weeks, are way around the outside. So Jones finally pits. Shelley comes in. Cloud comes in. Bobo Jones stays out.
Ooh, interesting call. They've really got nothing to lose, honestly, in that 44 car. They were kind of lingering in points, but I think they knew, like, maybe they'll try something a little bit different. I think Perkins stayed out as well, the 57.
This is
it's going to be also a very interesting call from some of these drivers. Pretty far back, honestly. You got nothing to lose. Why not stay out a little bit longer? Maybe bank on a caution, too. That could also help. So anything goes. That's what makes strategy so fun and interesting to watch.
So Jones is pitting this time, so he's going to surrender the lead, and I'm curious to see how much time he's going to lose. Perkins also joined him in the decision to run basically as long as possible here, so we'll see where this shakes out. One thing's for sure, I don't think Jones is going to come out with the lead, but you see how much time is lost. There's Jones, he comes off pit road, he ran pretty long, and you can see the time lost. Schwalmberg's all the way up in turn 4 already. There's the 51 of Goss. I am not sure if he's even pitted or not.
I would assume so. He's still 2 laps down. Still very much off the pace, so I think the officials probably are going to have to end the 51's day.
Yeah. And
it's really slow. Oh my goodness. Like going snail speed.
Oh, he was dropping speed, it looked like. Yeah, he's going like 130.
Yeah.
51 of Goss has been black flagged. I think the officials are signaling that whatever his problem, it seems to be terminal. Now he's a hazard on the racetrack, so frustrating for Goss as he makes contact with Curtis, as Curtis had to hit the brakes to not spin him around, as does Marchese had to slam the brakes to miss him. And that's going to cost Marchese a ton of spots. He's going to drop way down the order.
Had to scrub so much speed off, though, because of that.
He's struggling
Gosh.
to get back up to pace here. Does something also break on Adrian Marchese, or is he just having that much? Is he just trying to calm himself down? Because that was a really scary situation there.
He did have to slow abruptly, though, so we have to keep note of that. So it takes a little bit just to get the car cranked up again.
Marchese.
Absolutely unfortunate circumstance with the 83, but that 51 was black flagged and absolutely had to come back in.
So here's your leader. Dejan Weeks pitted first, and he does come back out with the lead in the 30 car. So, but he was the first car to come to pit road, so we'll see how the tire wear shakes out here. If you want to go based off the Hardy's race the other day, yes, that happened the other day, don't question it. You know, there was the long run, those guys who pitted late benefited, so, and speed did come in for those guys who pitted later. Jeff James lost a multiple second lead, so we'll see if the same thing happens to Weeks, as we're coming up soon on the halfway point. Stinson takes off 3/10 from the lead, so the 96 is a little bit quicker at the moment here. DeMaxon up to 3rd place, England up to 4th, Schwalmberg falls to 5th from the lead, but he did pit a little bit later than the rest of these guys did, so he should be able to, in theory, be one of the faster guys on track. Collins in the 43, Lamas now down to 7th there. Bobo Jones lost a lap. That's how much time was lost. The 44 is now a lap down.
Wow. It's actually kind of nuts when you think about it, though, but yeah, again, because you're like on that tire day, right? You lose so much seconds, you know, if you're not as fast as you were in the initial start of the race, the initial takeoff. You lose again all that time, and yeah, you sacrifice it.
Although I
Again, you
wonder,
got younger tires though.
I wonder though, because Jones was ahead of the 57 of Perkins when he pitted, but he's dead last on the order of cars still running on the track. So
I wonder if he had a bad stop.
So yes, Perkins is now all the way up to 30 seconds. So let's check for pit times here. Was the 44 had a problem? Yes, 32 seconds stop for the 44 Bobo Jones. So they lost upwards of 15 seconds on pit road.
So something went awry then, yeah.
After a really bad stop. So a disaster for Bobo Jones. He should make up
3 wide.
He should make up some of that time, but it's not going to, but this is basically a race killer there. As Zane Davidson now gets into the back of the 43 of Collins, this is for position. As Zane Davidson, who was at the back of the field, he's now back up to 8th. So the 91 has found some speed, but he's now being held up behind the 43 of Collins, who is trying to hold on for dear life. But look at Zane, he's just all over the bumper of Collins, and he should, I think, make this pass. This is very crucial for Zane for points, especially with Weeks, the new points leader, in the lead. And speaking of the lead, Stinson's cutting it. The gap is down to 0.9. We'll see where the gap is at the start-finish line, because so 0.99 down to 0.85. So Stinson's
down a 10th basically.
So Stinson's cutting into it.
Very interesting. Dodges run 1 through 3 right now, and Samuel England relaxing in that 4th spot. Definitely wants to run them down, but he's got a pretty good, comfortable gap over Dylan Schwalmberg. Cody Lama sits in that 6th position. Zayden Davidson, like you said, started at the back, moved his way forward. Great run so far. Great forward progress, and again, that's the beauty of strategy right there. Mitchell Collins sits in 8th. Bobby Jones 9th. And how about Miles Mashburn sitting in that 10th position? Great effort for this 017. They need stuff like this to happen, but it looks like I think the 15 and the 71 have other plans to say, but that was short-lived, but you never know.
It looks like Mashburn was one of those guys that pitted very early, because he is now really dropping pace here as he's fallen outside the top 10, as Shelley gets now back inside the points. Cloud now is all over him here.
Ooh, man.
I'm curious to see Perkins' pace, because that was a very late
Stuck back there.
stop. So he was one of the last guys
Behind
to pit.
Snyder
He
Fox.
has about 6 to 7 laps fresher tires than Dejan Weeks, so I don't think he'll fall a lap down just based on that alone. But we'll see how much time he can gain with these tires here.
Yeah, let's see what. Yeah, check on where he's running. 32nd right now. Just got past the 98, about to pass the 70. That's going to be 2 spots just like that. He'll be up to 29th if he can at least pass Bob Burns off the turn 4. It's a bit ways back though, 19 seconds though. So, but he can reel these guys in slowly but surely though. So, again, going to be very interesting to see how fast he can carve through the field. And Perkins is a champion after all. Knows his experience, knows his P's and Q's. So, we'll see.
And speaking of making progress, Dylan Schwanberg, who we noted, he stayed out a couple laps extra than the guys up front. I've been watching him kind of slowly chop that time down. He was about 6.5 seconds back a couple laps ago, and he's slowly moved that up to 4.5 seconds. So we'll have to see where he ends up by the end of this pit run.
Stinson has caught Weeks, but can he pass him though? He passed Weeks in the run, but that was on equal tires here. So this should be theoretically a bit easier as Stinson now
Looking much
for
faster.
the lead. The rookie looking to take the lead here in the Sony Cup Series. If he can just clear this 30 car, and he does,
Oh, he
muscles
did.
ahead. Very impressive pass by Stinson to take the lead, but can he hold it?
So huge.
It's been
Stinson,
a heck of a debut season for Dane.
Stinson last year kind of showed up on the scene, showed some really impressive pace throughout, his part-time starts throughout the year. But the progress he's made in such a short amount of time is pretty impeccable here. Now he's up here leading in the Sony Cup Series for Joseph Strigley Racing, by the way. A team that hasn't had a lot of success. A few years ago, they were struggling just to get out of go or go home qualifying. So, but now they've got 2 cars up here in the top 5 competing with Monster Energy Racing, a much more established team, at least over the last few years. So, this is a really great day for Dodge.
It kind of reminds me of like how Ryan Griffin did when he was off the bat in Sony Cup. Looked really freaking good. Was so fast. Got some wins off the bat. Really close. Just raw paced at the beginning, and starting to see shades of that with Dane Stinson right now. And again, passing someone like Dejan Weeks, the points leader. That's a huge statement to put on your resume, to say the least, in your young career. So, and yeah, that 30 car starting to become a little bit of a sitting duck, as some lappers are trying to get around him right now.
Bobo Jones is trying to get back on the lap, I should say. He is only 1 down. So I think he should. He has 7 lap fresher tires than Weeks, and you can see the difference there as Jones powers around the outside. So the 44 looking to at least get the lap back here.
Down the bottom that time, and all lappers go to the top. But keep an eye out on Samuel England. You see the gap starting to also close in on the other guys. Ooh, really close off of turn 4. I thought Bobo was going to wreck the 88 off of 4, and that would have been really, really bad. But
Yeah,
we're
they're
starting
racing a
to see
little too
England.
hard around the leader there.
But this is for
Yeah,
position,
don't
though.
sleep on
This
England,
is for
though.
position. So
Oh,
Jones
man.
and
Yeah, but you don't get much out of wrecking by the leader.
Look at that. Oh, man. Yeah, gap's dwindling down. England's starting to catch. It's 1.2 seconds.
the
The
30
is also
car.
starting to reel in Weeks, so we're starting to see the tires start to come to life for those that pitted later. So
Yeah, look who's creeping up in 5th place, who I mentioned probably not even
Up to
5
4th
laps
now.
ago.
there's Schwalmberg.
Schwalmberg was 8
Ooh, trying to
seconds
buck the
back.
max.
Schwalmberg was 8 seconds behind the lead after the pit cycle ended. He has cut it down to 1.2 and has now taken 4th place here. So staying out, was it perhaps the right call? We'll see, because I would suspect that these guys will pit again roughly within the next 10 laps. So, and you can see Weeks. He is really way off the pace there, and Schwalmberg had to let off the gas as England made a sudden move, as did Lamas, and they both had to back out of it for their own safety there. As Zane Davidson now in the 91 gets into the picture here. He's found some speed here, and and this is all of a sudden, we've got a massive battle here for 2nd place. and maybe
this is
for
exactly
the lead.
what the 96 wants to see.
But Stinson though,
doesn't
he's
seem like
losing
much.
time because he's obviously. Oh, look at Zane with a massive run on the outside.
Wow, he
he
passed
was
them all.
7th. He was 7th. He's looking for 2nd.
Oh, he's gonna get if he can get around England. Oh my goodness. look at him
Davidson
cook.
with a monster run there. He just passed 5 cars in a single lap. He's cooking.
I think he saw I think Weeks really. It's just that car is so tight now. He's used up the tires and it stacked the whole bottom groove up. And Zayden Davidson's like, well, I'm gonna go to the top side now instead and look at Samuel England. He's gonna try and do the
Speaking
exact
of
same
top,
thing because now Dane Stinson's
and
parking the
England
bus.
Could be 3 wide here. Zane
Oh, he's
makes
gonna
the
get
move.
it. He's gonna get the lead.
England
He
makes
got
the
it.
pass. So England takes the lead. Davidson stuck behind Stinson. So he fell back to 3rd, but he's now trying to take 2nd place here, and he wants that points lead back. Talladega and Road 1 was just a disaster for this 91 team. They've come back with some fire this week, which is much needed there. But here comes Lamas now in the 48 with a run. This battle for a
Cody
lead.
kind of quietly making his way up through the field along with Schwal over there. Now he's going to try to make a challenge for the lead.
This is about to be a very interesting battle for lead here. So we're coming up on the next round of pit stops because you can see all these varying strategies have now all of a sudden come back together. And Weeks is dropping. He is now 1.3 seconds off. His teammate Bobby Jones is on the move as well. Remember, he was one of the last guys to pit. So he theoretically should be faster than all of these guys combined. As here comes Zane Davidson out for the lead. He uses the outside momentum to try and take the lead from the Red Bull Racing machine. And he does it.
Absolutely loving that outside line right now. He's just been able to pass cars up there so efficiently. Look at him pull a gap on Samuel England, though, and Cody Lamas hasn't really been able to do much. He's just sitting in 3rd, but that 91 car is so fast, as you said. He needs a race like this more often. That's what makes him a championship contender. You know, had a strong start, had a few, little hiccups, but looks like they're back into a rhythm again, and look at the gap he's pulling from the Red Bull.
What an incredible top 5. You got Mercedes, Honda, Chevy, Toyota, and Dodge, all in the top 5. And you got Ford there in the top 10.
Joseph Striegel in the A6 is up to 10th place. He was a little bit further back there. Caps was as well, so a couple of guys who were stuck at the back, they've all of a sudden worked their way forward. Caps was back in 35th at one point, so good effort by him. But I'm curious to see where Perkins is at, because that's the one with the best tires in the field, theoretically. So he has worked his way up to 23rd, so the tires are working, but maybe looking for a little bit more speed than what they were getting. But he's now going to shoot a 3 wide in between Yepes and Freeze. And I think he should clear them. Have to do some very aggressive driving to achieve that. DJ Kurse down in 26 still, has not been able to really move forward at all. So the 19 team has definitely missed the setup in comparison to the
Something they found
91.
with the 91, they weren't sharing with the 19 team this week. Or perhaps the 91 hit the setup and DJ just couldn't really drive what Zayden was handling.
Skill issue.
So
there.
Bobo has gone
Very well.
So we saw Bobo Jones get his lap back here. So he is back in sort of contention, but he's got a long way to go here, and he's still got another stop to go through. And speaking of stops, there's Weeks.
Weeks is bidding.
He saw the inevitable, what was going to happen, and he's coming to pit road. But this is a very early stop here, lap 67. So assuming he goes 30 laps, he's going to have to pit with around maybe 8 laps to go. And some of these guys lasted a bit longer, so how early will these guys pit? Because there's a chance. There's a chance this could be the last stop.
I think pitting a little bit early for a lot of the front runners that last time around is going to come back to bite them in the end. Like you said, probably going to have to pit with 10 laps to go. And that car really didn't look too healthy on a long run, so trying to stretch fuel, it's not really going to look good for that 30 team. Probably going to need a caution to come out to kind of realign the setup and everything.
Davidson leads, but Lamas is all over him, so this lead has just, no one's been really to pull out much of a gap. I don't think anyone's had a gap bigger than 2 seconds so far. It's just been that competitive up here at the front. Schwalmer comes to the pit road, the 10, so a little bit early, but perhaps they are confident he can make it the rest of the way. For the lead here comes Lamas underneath the 91 of Zayden, so this 48's got a really good long run car. But is any of them going to
It
pit?
looks really good.
He's going to at least keep that 91 out for another lap. He's not going to let him even think about pitting this time around.
And Lamas doesn't look like he wants to pit either, so they're still going to be side by side off of turn 4.
Evenly matched here. Just stuck side by side. No one really can get much of an advantage here. The tires have worn so bad. I don't think either line has much of a preference at this point. Zane does get a little bit of a better exit.
48 still hanging on to the quarter panel there, using the air to kind of keep up with him.
That just allows Bobby
He's gonna
Jones to
come
reel
in.
him in.
Well, they're both going to come in.
Yep, Lamas moved to pit. Zane reacted, so
Both coming in.
there's England. There's Caps. He's going to stay out an extra lap
Like
here.
Stinson beat Dejan out.
So Caps will take the lead, which, remember, Dega, he stayed out as long as he could. Like, literally, the other person who stayed out the same amount ran out of gas, which was the 86 of Srigley. So, not surprised to see Caps stay out as long as possible.
Man.
But you can see a difference in speed on the fresh tires. It's such a big loss to run this long, but, you know, the tires do matter a lot. As Caps comes to pit road, he surrenders the lead. There's Perkins. He stayed out the longest out of anyone in the field. He's going to come to pit road, so not as
He's
aggressive.
actually coming in. Yeah.
Not as aggressive as the last time. Maybe realized that didn't really work as well as they thought. So that should be everyone. Here comes Bobo Jones now. So that should be roughly it. I think this might be for the lead between the 30 and the 96. Looks like a 20.
Yeah, that should be for it.
And look at these guys. Some of these guys getting lapped. So Weeks goes ahead of Stinson. Yes, that was for the lead. So Weeks has taken the lead back, but now has a predicament of fuel and whether or not the 30 can even possibly stretch it, which I find it kind of hard to believe. They may need a caution here within the next 20 laps to keep themselves in contention. Gallon Downey.
There's Perkins. There's that 7.
Gallon Downey fell a lap down. A couple of guys now a lap down. 30 up to 31st are now a lap down here. And Downey's actually picking pace here. I think this is where the undercut is kind of falling apart already because Downey to 22, he's all of a sudden quicker than Stinson. Here's third. Sam England is 4 seconds behind. So the gaps have gotten bigger.
A lot of work to do.
Yep, but we saw Schwalmer make up an 8-second gap. So there's time. I think if you're within 10 seconds down, I think you still have a good shot at this, especially since fuel is now going to be an issue. You know, the 30 and the 96 may not even be factors at the end of this race. Zane Davidson is now
That's a good
down.
point, though.
Davidson is now down to 6th. He's 12 seconds back. Lamas is down to 7th, 15 back. So I think this 48 team may have had a kind of a bad stop because they came into pit with Zayden. So, and to lose 3 seconds, that must have been a really tough stop for Curtis Racing.
Pretty big deal.
And DJ Curtis is 9th, which I'm assuming is because of the undercut, because that is quite a gap to make up all of a
Yeah, I
sudden.
don't think that will last very long because now look at Srigley fly past that 15 car just like nothing. So
A couple of guys pitted early. I think this, if you're the 19, this is basically pitting early, praying for a lucky caution to get back in contention so you can put some fuel in and get the track position. So considering how bad the 19's been today, it's honestly the best call they probably could have made.
really a Hail Mary call for them.
Caps. Ooh, man, that was close. He and Collins almost wrecked entering turn number 3. And Caps will have roughly the freshest tires of the guys running inside the top 15. So we'll see 20 seconds back. So we'll see what he can do. But we got some lap traffic here.
Small.
He is now in between Smith and Van Schaik, who is now all over the back of the 31. Larson.
Oh my goodness.
That
A little
was
too crazy.
That's for position.
Oh, he's all over the back of the Max now.
That was for position, but at the same time, I'm not sure that was necessary. I'm sure Demax and Schwallenberg were not thrilled about that one.
You see that 10 car go to the top side. The Max tries to chop him off of 4, but Schwallenberg has to back off. Fight for another day for that 18 car, but ooh, Nelly, England's 2.5 seconds behind Dejan Weeks.
And that's just helping
So,
Zayden at that point.
Yeah.
You know, like this is
Them
helping.
battling helps.
This is helping these guys who are a little bit further back, because remember, they don't have draft, so they are going to perhaps lose a little bit of time because they don't have some draft. But then again, you know, tires will make up the difference, especially as the run goes on, as we are around 25 laps to go here at Kansas. Weeks has pulled out to a lead over Stinson, but he is in lapped car hell, as a couple of these guys who pitted later than he did, I think they're kind of, I don't think they're really meaning to be much of a bother, but I think they're faster.
Now, they are trying to get a lap back, though, because you never know when that caution will come out, and that'll put them back into the contention, even though it may seem slim, and you see them go 3 wide on the 30. That is not the situation you want to be in Weeks. Has to back off. He knew that was going to get really suspect. But that is not really what this 30 car needs, because now Dane Stinson can catch, but Samuel England is also catching because the 00 just passed the 96 down at the bottom of the track. So now, introducing the Red Bull 82 in that 3rd position to join in on the fray.
I do not believe that Samuel England has a Sony Cup Series victory, if our statistician can confirm that or not.
I will take a look.
He's been close, though. He almost did at Homestead, though, against teammate Anthony Marchese, but he's been waiting for that. He's been hungry for that win. He's been very, very hungry, and can you blame him? He's been so close so many times, you know, and when he started, now, you know, his current career, now he just got around Stinson, so he's only got 1 car on his sights, and that man is Dejan Weeks. So, that 82 car looking very, very fast. They've been up top 5 all race long, so wholeheartedly deserve to be up there.
And the question's going to be, do they have the fuel? Zane Davidson has now caught the top 5, and he has a bit, I believe he has 1 or 2 laps better than Schwallenberg's on the fuel situation, so it's hard to say because we're pretty confident the 30 can make it, and neither can the 96. The 82 and the rest, kind of a bit of a mixed bag. I can probably say with confidence that Caps can make it, though. So I think for him, he's just hot lapping, hoping for the best.
Him Perkins pitted pretty late, so they're in the best shot, best spot fuel-wise right now. So again, we could have a yellow that could really swing things around, but based on how spread out this field has been, it doesn't really seem to be the likely outcome at the moment. But Weeks still holding on to that lead, but it's just slowly but surely shrinking because Samuel England, again, on a little bit younger tires than that 30 car, and we just, again, I've seen the after effects of undercut and overcut theory kick in, is also the lap cars not playing into Dejan's cards at all, and Weeks trying to just kind of fend off for his life because that 82, it's now less than a second. It's almost half a second between the 30 and the 82.
Weeks only just got the points lead, and he could be in danger of losing it within a week. And that's got to be so frustrating for Dejan because they slowly took chunks out of the 91's points lead over the last couple of months. And while we're still, we're barely past halfway into the year, this is definitely the type of weekend that could have maybe been avoided with a better pit strategy. Could be the type of moment where, they don't score any points, and then you go towards the end of the year, and then you look at what they could have scored and what they didn't. This could be a deciding factor in the title, maybe. As the battle for a lead here is now underway. If you even want to call it a battle, it's more of a pleasantry at this moment, because here comes England in the 82 now to the bottom lane for the lead. The question of fuel remains, but right now England is the more favorable to win this race as it stands. Weeks does fight on the outside, but England just powers right on through as Weeks has no response in the M&M's number 30 Dodge Charger. Zane Davidson up to 4th. He's now got 3rd from Stinson. He threw it underneath the 96. Stinson now losing spots here. He's in a similar position to the 30. Zane, I think he may be one of the fastest cars on track right now. And he needs to try and run down that 82. He's 3.3 seconds behind with around 16 laps to go. Does he have enough time if England does have the fuel?
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see, really.
Some interesting
Caps
here.
down the points.
Caps was 20 seconds behind at this when he came off pit road. He's cut it down to 12, roughly about halfway into the run. But if granted, he is passing cars, although Curtis, he's now all of a sudden gotten to run the 6, although he's in a worse tire situation. But he's trying to fight as hard as he can. But Caps at the moment there, at the pace he's running, a top 5 might not even be out of the picture for him if this stays green. So this may have been
Wrigley about to get around Cody Lamas. I just saw them go to the inside of the 48. So
yeah, that may
big change in position here. That 86 car is starting to come to life at the best time possible too.
So that decision by Caps may have been a really smart one for his team, because they are now in position for a good finish, a points finish. Schwalmberg now losing some spots. He was battling with DeMax, but couldn't make the pass. And now he's going to lose the spot to the A6.
He caught these two cars in a heartbeat.
And Lars Van Schaik has just been in the 10's way. He's just been mixing it up.
I question the 10's decision to come in earlier on the second stop. I felt like they really had something going with the longer stint the first time around, but they must have changed their mind. I'm not sure if there was a decision made to maybe adjust the car for a longer run or something. I'm not really too sure what was going on, but it's really not working out. They're in a really tough situation right here.
Lamas is in a tough spot here. He's stuck behind the much more older 96 car. Schwalmberg is now finally getting a run on the 59 as Curtis Racing's Cody Lamas all just was tempting for 4 wide as he's got stuck behind Stinson and
lose the 96 car up.
That lost him some time. But meanwhile, for the lead here comes Zane with a massive run. He all of a sudden has caught the 82 with basically no effort.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a huge run off a turn. Dude, he's been able to just go to the top side so casually. Just finds all that grip up there. We've seen drivers do that, but it feels like Zayden in this race itself has just been able to efficiently use it the best out of everybody right now. And just like that, power move to the outside. Yeah, against a little bit younger tires too. Again, gotta account that, but even so, it's very impressive to just pass on the outside line at this kind of racetrack. And we've seen a lot of drivers mostly oriented as bottom feeders in this track, just right down at the bottom, but it's pretty cool to see him driver just kind of snip around on that outside like nothing.
So Zane Davidson has taken lead, and we've got a couple guys pitting. James Silfox in the 34. He has elected to come to pit road, and I guess if you're going to pit late, you might as well take some tires, although they're having some trouble on the right side. Has something happened to the 34? No, the 34 has an engine problem. What happened here?
They're diagnosing the car underneath.
James Silfox in the 34. Kansas has not been a nice track to Silfox. This is where he got a concussion a couple of years ago, and it seems that Kansas is going to remain not nice to him here, as an engine problem has plagued the 34. And it blew right in turn 3, right in front of Acosta. So tough break for the 34. Kansas continues to just be a terrible venue for the soon to be retired from Sony Cup driver. But meanwhile, Dejan Weeks, I think this 30 team is at the end of the road here because fuel is just going to be so close with these guys.
Joseph Strigley's up to the podium now. He's in third. That 86 is, again, coming alive at a great time.
And they need it. The last 2 weeks have not been very kind to this 86 team. They've been kind of hanging in the championship hunt there, but haven't had a performance in a while that's gotten them back in the mix. This could be the difference maker today. As Weeks
I think that was
finally
Weeks
pits.
pitting. Yep.
He finally pits. The caution did not come when he needed it. So Weeks, he will most likely not score points unless something extremely drastic happens.
And the real question, is really, can anybody make it to the end? Now, Weeks obviously can now with just pitting, but, it was like a couple laps after, a couple other laps afterwards, though, that maybe 2 or 3 lap difference, though. So I'm not 100% sure if anybody can make it to the end, but again, I could be very much wrong, and I probably will be wrong on this occasion. But even if that 30 car could still come off as the leader if nobody else makes it.
So the points lead right now, as it stands, Zane Davidson would retake the championship lead if things stay as they are. Schwalmberg now is in the 10 car. He will gain on the 30, should overtake him, but I don't believe we'll sniff the title lead there. And here's Dom Capps. He's 10 seconds behind, so he's got the freshest tires in the field in terms of those who are in contention. But right now, a 4.8 second lead for Zayden Davidson in this 91 car with 6 laps to go. It's basically, at this point, if the 91 doesn't win, it's because of fuel. Because he is really quick right now. No signal to pit. But
Shepard looks like he's coming down. So
Strigley
one of the guys that pitted earlier.
Strigley goes around to take second place from England, so his run towards the lead continues on. So Zane can't make it. The 86 is right there to take advantage with 5 laps to go.
Cap's also in the catbird seat too, and he is one of the later people to pit. So we could see Dom Capps pull some magic out of the hat again because of. But those guys just pitting later, they had to fill up less gas too, so that's the other thing.
Let's take a look who's pitting so far. The 70, the 19 is pit. He was on the same strategy as the 30. Stinson has pitted. Shepard has pitted. DeMax has pitted. So DeMax pitted, so he didn't have enough to make it. And neither did Schwallenberg.
Ooh,
Schwallenberg
boy.
also pitted the 10 car. Several guys are short.
Weeks needed to hear. What Weeks needed to hear. Let's see if Zayden's only got a couple laps.
But does Zayden have enough?
cruise
No,
it
he's
home.
coming down pit road. He's surrendering the lead with coming to 3 to go.
Like I said, now we got to keep an eye on the 86.
Sirigli's
and the
coming to pit.
86 is coming.
Lamas
in.
is
Lamas
pitting.
is pitting.
Jones stays
Capps
out.
is not pitting yet. I don't think Capps is pitting yet. Neither is Jones. Ooh, this is gonna get really spicy.
The lead is going to go to Bobby Jones. The lead will go to Bobby Jones with 3 to go.
Race.
If it's not Jones, I think it might be Capps here.
I mean, if you're still on track at this point, you got to be confident that you have enough fuel. You got to be throwing.
Schwalmberg did not take tires, so he's just hoping that these guys run out.
I don't think anybody took.
You
just only had to take a splash.
You'd be fooled to take a tire at this point, but at the same time, it's... Oh, Jones is short. Jones is short. He's coming to pit road with 3 to go. Coming to 2 as Capps now takes the lead in the 6 car.
If you're the 6 car, you just got to conserve it home.
If team velocity here
bring it in.
may have made a winning call.
Heck of a win.
All you've got to do is just
Capps, I don't think, is the only one.
You can make it.
I mean, if that 6 does have to come in, there's
Capps actually might be the only one who can make it as it stands, maybe.
I think the 57 could make it too. Oh, he's coming in. I think
No,
he's coming
Capps
in.
is giving up. Oh, he's short. He's coming.
He's
couldn't make it.
He was out coming to the white flag.
Oh, this is going to really
Has
screw up the
anybody saved
leaderboard.
enough fuel at all, or is everybody?
I think everyone's pitted.
I think everybody's in.
I'm not even
Everybody has
sure
to come
who's
in.
the leader at this point. You know,
I
Perkins.
feel like the 30 could be.
It might be
The
Perkins.
57. Ooh.
I think Perkins is going to take the lead.
Oh,
The
man.
white flag
You would
is
have
out.
to take the win at this point.
The white flag is out for
No
Sean Perkins
way.
in the 57. He's just got to
Just gotta
clutch
bring
his
it
way home.
Can he do it? I mean, either way, I think he has his
Not
race
a
won. I mean, he could
factor
probably
all
just
day
put it on the-
long. Did
Wow.
they just pull off the heist of the century if he can just get to the line?
This might have been the biggest IQ move we've seen in the
Sean
Sony Cup series
Perkins.
for quite some time.
Off of turn 4.
He's gonna do it.
Perkins for Great Lakes Motorsports for Honda Accord is going to pull off the heist of the season and wins at Kansas.
Huge victory for him.
A massive shocker and a massive turn of events in the open car title, as an open car has won. Dejan
of all
Weeks
things,
crossed the line.
Dejan Weeks.
Weeks crossed the line second, so him pitting, he perhaps took tires and made up the time.
The strategy we thought wouldn't work was completely just. I mean, the end of the race had just ruined any expectation.
It was the
we
right
had, and
one.
he took second.
Because Weeks will now keep the points lead. Because Zane finished behind him.
Yeah, it all cycled together because literally Sean Perkins was on the very. I think Logan Cloud might have been another guy. I'm not quite sure, but no, Cloud probably would have gotten second realistically if he had made it to the end.
I'm exporting this.
That's actually crazy.
I'm exporting this now. I don't care about the name because I can't risk anything here.
That's a very good
Yeah.
replay file.
I'll rename them later.
Export.
I'll rename them later.
Yeah, look at that. That's crazy, actually.
we were playing 4D checkers, and Dejan was playing interdimensional chess.
We thought that
Perkins
perhaps
was playing Galaxy.
we
Yeah,
thought that
Galaxy hunting.
we thought, or at least I thought that Weeks had made the wrong call, but no. In terms of what they could have played their hands with, what they had, that was the best possible situation for them. Zane Davidson crosses third, so that's going to lose points to Dejan, but that will scoot him up, at least to keep him second in the title. Sirigley comes across fourth, Lamas comes across fifth, Bobby Jones with a very good points day in sixth, Caps comes across seventh. We thought that maybe he had made the right call, and he looked like he was right. Him and Perkins pitted at the same time, so I guess Perkins, with him just hanging around, he was able to just say feel better than Caps did. Logan Cloud comes across eighth, big points. I believe that's the first points for the 56 all year long, so that's going to help them out a bit. Dane's
Good day just for Great Lakes in general, though. You got the 57, 56. What a weekend. That's a dream weekend right there. I tell you what,
Stinson crosses the line ninth, a solid points day, ran up in the lead for a while too, so I would say a good impressive day. Sam England 10th after running in the top 5 for most of the day. Gotta be disappointing, but at least they walk away with a point. And Bobo Jones, unfortunately, he's the one that unfortunately came up just a little bit short. Schwamber crossed 13th, so no points gained for the 10 team after running so strong today. And DJ Curtis, no points, but 12th, all things considered, running 26 most of the day. A year ago, that would have been probably the best possible points day. And typical DJ finds a way to make his way towards the front after a tough day.
The Max looks strong there, only finished 14th. Eves just kind of like lingering near top 10 area, just top 15, 20-ish, ends up in 15th, fitting for the card number. Marchese looked strong early on. Onjak was kind of just not the best out there. Blake Warren was in the back at some point. Acosta, a lot of the guys that were kind of in the mid-pack.
It was really hard.
Stagnant.
It was really hard for us to cover the midfield because the battle for the lead basically was the entire race. Like, there was just not much of an opportunity for us to really go look anywhere besides not the top 10 because it was just so competitive for the lead. Blake Warren comes across 18th.
To be more drivers.
Acosta.
To be more like Matthew Rodriguez finished 26th. I thought that 9 car would be a lot faster. Turner obviously at the early excursion finishes 28th. Got to look further down here. Silver Fox out with the camshaft.
That was
Goss
the problem.
had issues.
Shelly
Speed in general.
Shelly had a problem.
Shelly really struggled.
Something happened to the 71.
What happened?
It looks like he may have had
maybe a slow stop.
No.
I want to see what happened to the 51 to cause their issue also.
Let's take a look at the 71 at Shelley
I'll push through.
because he had a problem in his pit box and he just couldn't get out. You know, they just couldn't get the car
That's
refired.
tough.
So potential points for the 71 gone. TPR, man, very unlucky year. But yeah, let's take a look at what happened to Will
Had
Goss,
passenger win.
because something really must have really gone wrong. You can see a little bit off the pace.
I'll just take a look at the lap times and just see where they fell off, just lap by lap.
Yeah, because he's keeping up fine. But
Let's
something
skip the laps.
happens. Oh, something happened this lap, I think.
Around here, at lap 10,
What the heck happened here? At least I think this is what might have happened. Or at least where
it starts slowing up in the middle of turn 1, looks like. I think that's...
he gets the run though, because
Gets a little run off, but
yeah,
you're starting to see the straight line speed, though.
Something
The difference in
happened.
Straight line speed.
something happened on the ape. Just I wonder if maybe he hit the apron and then maybe knocked something loose in the car, because
That might have been what
Only
it,
thing
what
I
it
can
was.
think of, yeah.
Because we didn't see anything in the messaging that, or at least anything that would indicate like a mech failure, right?
he wasn't.
So I think
He wasn't walled.
theoretically speaking, yeah, he didn't get walled either. Yeah, like you said, so something definitely from the transition of the apron over onto the main surface hindered the handling.
It
and
wasn't
just
something
overall
under the first
performance.
caution, was it?
It shouldn't have been, because
I
it
don't
wouldn't have
think
been
so.
affected then.
It didn't look like that off the bat when we went back green.
I didn't see
So
any visible
Perkins.
damage.
So let's go back to where he was when pit stop started. So this was where Dejan should have pitted the 30 car. So it was this lap he pitted. So Perkins was 23rd with 8 laps to go. They had no business winning this race all day long. They didn't run in the top 20 for most of the day, but their decision to run long in a Hail Mary has given them a win, a shocking win, in Perkins' return to the Sony Cup Series and Great Lakes Motorsports. What a incredible day. I mean, to walk away with a win and points for Cloud, just they played it perfectly. And, you know, Cloud ran good today as well. You know, it wasn't a fluke. You know, the 56 ran in the top 10.
The 56 had good pace. The 57 was a bit of a contrast, but that's what happens when you have nothing to lose, though. You know, when you don't have the pace, like, you know, how Perkins was this race. You know, just running around top 25, lingering around there. They tried doing something different by pitting later, maybe banking on a caution to trap some cars, lap down, and then now, you know, obviously you saw what happened with fuel mileage at the end.
See, you can see a difference in
That's
speed.
kind of the beauty of it.
You can see a difference in speed
Oh, yeah.
for weeks because he obviously took tires. He took, I believe, right side tires. So you can see the difference that made.
Steamroll past.
Just walked right by Strigley. And look at this. He was behind Zayden coming to the white. This is the white flag. Zayden was third. Dejan finished second. So, now remember, I believe Caps pitted, and he was still coming out of his box. So, how did Weeks take this? Holy cow, he dive bombed the corner, stuck it,
Glued to the bottom.
and just retook this was for the points lead. That was a
Power move.
That was literally for first in the title with an incredible dive by Weeks to just throw it in there and stick it. Zane has got to be so frustrated. He had the points lead. It was there. But Weeks in the last second took it right back from him. Unbelievable. But it's Sean Perkins and Great Lakes Motorsports, a team looking for a charter. And if they haven't just proven that they are a team that maybe deserves a charter, they've already had some great runs this year. They've had a top 5 Road 1. But they really just threw this entire race into a position that I don't think anyone could have expected. And that's going to shoot him up the title points as well. And with that, that is going to do it for today's race at Kansas Speedway for round number 11 of the FBRL Sony Cup Series. I'd like to thank you all for joining us for what was a very long race. I am very thirsty, even though I'm drinking this Mountain Dew Code Red. I would like to thank Taekwondo and Devoyne Shirehandle for providing the co-commentary today. It was a very last-minute decision. Hopefully things with the audio were fine, because Cody was the only person that said anything about it. So if it was bad, it was his fault because he didn't say anything, or he lied. So that'll do it for today's race at the FBRL Sony Cup Series. Next race will be the round of Germany as we will head to the Nürburgring, the F1 circuit. Yes, the F1 circuit. No, not the big one. Although the big one would be funny, but no. We will be heading to Germany for round number 12 of the season. We are expecting for that to be streamed as well. So, I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and we will see you guys for some road course racing in a couple of races, a couple of days, couple of weeks, not really, couple of days. Good night.